Defense against the knife. Good stuff to know. Check out this video.
Welcome to Action Hound Media, the site and channel all about action. Life's boring, gets more action into your life. Today, we're going to talk about defense against the knife. I would say the knife is probably one of your more dangerous weapons that you're going to encounter. The stick is different. It's a blunt object. You get hit with this and you can still keep going unless they really get a good shot to your head. But if you take a shot to the body, the hand, whatever, it's painful, but way different from a knife. A knife is way different because as soon as you get cut, you can bleed out, right? Especially if you get hit in the arteries. So if you have a knife and you have to protect yourself, the target you want to go for anywhere there's arteries, right? So, you know, the neck is a good one, right? Stabbing, I don't suggest stabbing because you got ribs here. Sometimes they'll get stuck in between the ribs. Not such a good thing. You could stab in the stomach. And if you stab hard enough, you get into the aortic artery all the way near your back. You could stab in the leg. Maybe you get a femoral artery. You cut here, you get a brachial artery. That's just a little like anatomy thing if you're attacking with the knife. But the real question is, what do you do when you confront a knife? All right, it's easy when you have a knife and you're attacking somebody. What do you do when you're being attacked with a knife? All right, so first things first, like I said, that the any kind of weapon situation, somebody has a weapon. If you don't have a knife and somebody has a knife, that is a distinct advantage that is something you don't even want to deal with. All right, when somebody has a knife and you don't, it's too much of an advantage. I would say run. You know, if you're able to run, if you have an avenue of escape, there's nothing wrong with running away from a knife because somebody has too much of an advantage when they have a knife. Let's say you are in an enclosed space, a room, maybe an alley, or maybe you're in a situation where some nut is walking down the sidewalk and you have little kids and they're not going to be able to run away from this nut. You're going to have to stand your ground and protect your family. You put your hands out, you tuck your chin in, and you keep your strong leg in the back. Nobody want to trouble. So you keep your hands out. So if he comes out and I put my hands out, this already creates a distance. And if he's pointing it like this gives me an opportunity to take the knife away. So I'll just grab like this. And the thing I immediately do is offset him by getting his arm in my armpit. When I get my control on his knife, what I like to do is put my thumbs on his knuckles, all right? Kind of like this. And then what I will do is go for a wrist lock disarm. So I'll just turn like this, press like this, and I'll be able to open his hand up and take the knife. Now, when you're taking the knife, here he is. When you're taking the knife, there is a good chance you will cut your hand again, taking the knife. All right, I just cut my thumb. My hand's bleeding. He cut my hand already a couple of times. My hand's bleeding. I can't freak out about the blood. And in this situation, you have a knife. My reaction is, of course, to strike, unfortunately. But, you know, in this day and age, if you counter somebody, take the knife away, cut them, and they bleed to death, you could be in trouble for it. So if I get the knife, I have to really stop myself from just cutting his throat and just push him away. You have the knife, you're safe, get out of there. That's one defense. In the event it is a knife fight, usually there's 4 angles they're gonna come at with the knife. If I have a hammer grip, I'm just gonna stab him in 3 basic ways, right? So I'm gonna use a low stab or a low slash, right? From the outside, or high stab or high slash from the outside, or a low stab or low slash from the inside, or a high stab or high slash from the outside. So you really have to worry about 4 angles, all right? Sometimes people say you got to worry about the middle angle, but if they come in the middle angle, you have to either move one way or the other. So one of the things you have to learn is the cat stance footwork. Basically, it's like this. This is going to teach you to get out of the way. And the other thing you're going to have to learn is to block for the knife. Now, specifically, when you block, it has to be the outside of your forearms. If you try to block from the inside, this is where all the arteries are. You're going to get cut. So that is at the ends versus a knife. Hope you enjoyed the video. Astronaut G9. Peace.